Robert F. Kennedy Jr. has long been a vocal advocate for environmental protection and public health. He questions the safety of glyphosate, the key ingredient in Monsanto's herbicide, Roundup. Research has proven certain major health risks from glyphosate exposure. Monsanto asserts Roundup's safety, but critics argue it prioritizes profits over health. This debate highlights the need for transparency in our food system. Kennedy's advocacy has sparked public discourse and further investigation. Glyphosate's journey from an industrial cleaning agent to a ubiquitous herbicide is fraught with controversy. Its story begins in the 1970s, not in agricultural fields, but as a solution for removing mineral deposits from industrial pipes. This seemingly innocuous beginning took a turn when its plant-killing properties were discovered, paving the way for its transformation into Monsanto's flagship herbicide, Roundup. Initially marketed as a safe and biodegradable solution for weed control, Roundup quickly gained popularity among farmers. However, as its use skyrocketed, so did concerns about its potential impact on human health and the environment. Independent researchers began uncovering disturbing evidence suggesting links between glyphosate exposure and a range of health problems. In the 1990s, Monsanto introduced Roundup-ready crops, genetically engineered to withstand direct application of the herbicide. Despite mounting evidence of collateral long-term harm, regulatory agencies worldwide have been slow to restrict glyphosate use. The debate over glyphosate's safety remains a contentious issue, highlighting the need for independent, transparent, and rigorous scientific research-proven data, evaluated by our FDA and realized to regulatory policy. The introduction of Roundup-ready crops in the 1990s marked a turning point in agricultural practices, ushering in an era of genetically modified organisms, or GMOs, engineered to tolerate glyphosate. This innovation promised to revolutionize farming by simplifying weed control and increasing crop yields. However, the widespread adoption of Roundup-ready crops has also sparked widespread debate about its long-term consequences for our health, environment, and food sovereignty as we watch disease in America soar to all-time highs, and by 2030, 50% of Americans will have diabetes and metabolic syndrome due to health-disruptive foods. Proponents of Roundup-ready technology argue that it has reduced reliance on tillage, a practice that can contribute to soil erosion and greenhouse gas emissions. However, critics argue that the technology has led to the emergence of glyphosate-resistant superweeds, necessitating even greater herbicide use. The dominance of Roundup-ready crops has raised concerns about the loss of biodiversity in agricultural landscapes, making our food system more vulnerable to pests, diseases, and climate change. This reliance on a single technology also raises concerns about corporate control over the food supply, as a handful of companies control the patents for both the seeds and the herbicide. Navigating this complex issue requires careful consideration of the scientific evidence, the ethical implications, and the long-term sustainability of our food system. In recent years, a disturbing trend has emerged: a significant increase in the prevalence of gluten intolerance and celiac disease. While the exact causes of this genetically modified phenomenon are still being investigated on us, some experts point to Monsanto, Bayer, Synergy, and other chemical companies as the root cause of the increasing glyphosate bombardment of wheat crops, as a big factor in healthcare shift declines these past 3 decades. This practice, known as desiccation, involves spraying glyphosate on wheat shortly before harvest to dry the crop evenly, facilitating easier harvesting. Critics, including RFK Jr., express concern that this practice leads to higher levels of glyphosate residues in our food, contributing to the rise in gluten intolerance, as increased findings evidence 99% increases in human urine samples throughout the world. The recently released scientific peer-reviewed studies have proven glyphosate interferes with the enzyme pathways involved in gluten breakdown in the human gut, leading to digestive issues when consuming wheat products, something many term as leaky gut. Furthermore, some studies have proven that glyphosate disrupts the balance of gut bacteria, exacerbating existing gut health issues and increasing the onslaught of autoimmune conditions like IBS, IBD, ulcerative colitis, Crohn's, eczema, and allergies, to name a few, along with increasing cascading autoimmune attack on the body. While more research continues to come out on the proven neurodegenerative effects and biogenetic links, recent data has found glyphosate use on wheat, and the rise of gluten intolerance and gastrointestinal disease as the direct correlation and reason why the levels of varying GI disease have worsened in the last 30 years, as increasing tons of chemicals per year are doused on our agricultural food sources here in America, all of which raises the question, why are food safety agencies and current agricultural institutions also not asking the bigger question of why we continue to allow these practices? Hence why RFK Jr. chose to visit Monsanto today to demand American food be made safe again for Americans. Individuals suffering from health problems caused by glyphosate exposure face an uphill battle for justice. However, since 2017, more lawsuit cases have won in court against Monsanto, and with the help of health advocates like RFK Jr., huge strides and efforts to get to the main root causes of some of today's health problems. He has met the victims of non-Hodgkin's lymphoma with direct proven connection to the damages coming from his exposure to Monsanto's chemicals, along with countless others with other forms of cancers. The Daubert standard governs the admissibility of scientific evidence in U.S. federal courts. It requires evidence to be deemed relevant and reliable by the judge. Critics argue it often excludes valid findings that challenge powerful industries. RFK Jr. criticizes its application in glyphosate litigation, claiming it favors corporations. He argues it creates an uneven playing field, favoring those with resources. The struggle for corporate accountability is complex, and the Daubert standard is just one piece. Ensuring a fair legal system is crucial for justice and public health. While glyphosate has taken center stage in the debate surrounding agricultural chemicals, RFK Jr. also raises concerns about another widely used herbicide, atrazine. This chemical, primarily used on corn crops, has been linked to a range of adverse health effects including endocrine disruption, reproductive problems, and cancer. Despite its potential risks, atrazine remains one of the most common herbicides used in the United States, highlighting the need for increased scrutiny of its safety and potential long-term consequences. Atrazine's endocrine-disrupting properties are particularly concerning, as even low levels of exposure can have significant impacts, especially during critical developmental periods. One of the most striking examples of atrazine's endocrine-disrupting effects comes from studies on frogs, where male frogs exposed to atrazine levels considered safe by the Environmental Protection Agency experienced feminization. These findings raise alarming questions about the long-term impacts of atrazine exposure on human health, particularly on developing fetuses and children. When will these chemicals quit their long-term hormone-disrupting effects in our American children and young growing adults? Does it get worse before it gets better? And ask yourself, why can't change happen now? Despite these concerns, atrazine remains a widely used herbicide, highlighting the need for stricter regulations and a precautionary approach to protecting public health and the environment from the potential risks of this chemical. The debate surrounding glyphosate, atrazine, and other agricultural chemicals underscores the urgent need for a more transparent and accountable food system. As consumers become increasingly aware of the potential risks associated with chemical-intensive agriculture, there is growing demand for safer, more sustainable alternatives. RFK Jr. White's advocacy work has been instrumental in bringing these issues to the forefront of public discourse, prompting crucial conversations about the impact of our food choices on our health and the environment. While the scientific debate surrounding glyphosate and atrazine continues, the precautionary principle dictates that we should err on the side of caution and prioritize the protection of human health and the environment. Moving towards a safer and more sustainable food system requires a multifaceted approach. Consumers also have a role to play in driving change by supporting sustainable farming practices, choosing organic and non-GMO products whenever possible, and demanding transparency from food companies about the ingredients in their products. By working together, we can create a food system that prioritizes the health of people and the planet over corporate profits. Please comment and share your views below. Are you hopeful for the end of GMO processed foods for all Americans? Ponder the idea of living and eating with healthy lifestyle practices that include organic food from ancestral seed, like our forefathers once ate. Let's put an end to subsidized GMO seed once and for all. Hopefully we all agree we want safe food, air, and water for our future generations, don't we? Please like, share, and subscribe to our Breaking Trump News channel, and always stay informed and vigilant. Thank you for watching, and remember, drop your comments below. Your voice matters.